morning. It is Wednesday, September 26, 2018. It is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, and you are listening to AM Ocala Live. And we are broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall just outside the WOCA commissary, where you too can get a Philly cheese and steak sandwich right there.
Oh, yeah, with extra grilled onions.
Extra grilled onions.
So
good morning,
good.
Robin. How you doing over there?
I'm good. How are you, Larry? Good morning.
Oh, doing good. Let me tell you what the weatherman is telling us to tell you. 72 degrees right now. Well, I looked that one up myself. 92 the expected high today. There's about a 50% chance we'll see rain. Tomorrow, only a 20% chance of rain with highs around 93. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the same as tomorrow. So today is the more likely day for rain, it looks like, if you are looking forward to using your umbrella for the first time in a while.
Yeah, I've used mine already. I have a nice umbrella with Paris stuff on it given to me by my mom for Christmas.
Well, that's because it's a parasol.
I love that. Oh, there you go. How clever.
Let's see what we're doing this morning. 7:35. We're going to take our time and read the news and offer opinions and take phone calls from our friends out there. And that's what we do during 7:35 to 8. It's part of our morning. 8:05. Galen Newnold will be on the phone with us. He's the Director of Retention and Recruitment at Life South Community Blood Center. And don't forget to tune in on Friday evenings during football season. Galen Newnold is your host in a play-by-play broadcast of high school football. He is following this year Vanguard High School, so he'll be. Do you know the team they're playing this Friday?
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, the name of the team.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't remember.
Or the school?
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Here it is. I have it right here. It's going to be Leesburg at Leesburg High School. Yeah.
I did hear him say that. So that
Leesburg at Leesburg High School. The game starts at 7 again this week. So 6:30 pregame.
So the topic with Galen today is about attending a football game, the etiquette rules of those in attendance at a football game, and the etiquette rules of those on the field in the football game. So I want to know the etiquette rules, because I don't know any of them. I would imagine they're probably normal, like behave yourself, no cursing and things like that, right?
Yeah, parents are the worst.
Parents do break a lot of rules. Oh, man, I think you're right. Let's see. News Bites is 8:35. That's when you and I read the news and don't offer any opinions. We are able to get between 25 and 30 stories out during that time frame because we don't offer any opinions. Ruth Magnuson Davis is a retired attorney, studied... she's a student of early modern English, and I've also studied English, although you can't tell sometimes. And she's the founder of the New Matthew Bible Project. Now, I never heard of the Matthew Bible either, but according to the publicist who spoke to me, the Matthew Bible is the Bible that the King James Bible was translated from.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you.
She's an expert of the referee.
So she's an expert. Okay.
Yeah.
Cody Burns is an inspirational speaker. He's got a book called Scar Release, Breaking Free of Yesterday's Troubles. That's a good idea. Alex Martin is a singer and songwriter. We have some music we want to play from him. He's got a story of how he became who he is today, a multi-talented musician. Plus he was kind of left on his own devices, I guess. His parents weren't the best parents in the world.
No, he raised himself.
Louise Philippe. I think he's leaving somebody out. There's got to be some adult in his life that he can look to and say, yeah, that's the person.
No, his grandmother. His grandmother until she died when he was 16.
See, usually it's a grandma, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Louise Philippe de Orleans Ibracanganca. Oh, my gosh. Is the son of the Prince of Brazil.
Yep.
Does that make him a prince, too?
I believe so.
He's part of the imperial family. He's a businessman, and he wants to talk to us about what is currently happening in Brazil. Okay. In regards to the recent assassination attempt on the presidential candidate Jair Bolsonaro. Oh, my gosh.
See, I'm glad you can pronounce that stuff. I'm not very good at it, so I'm not good at Portuguese or Spanish or anything.
See, but that's it. It's Portuguese. I don't really know Portuguese.
You know Pig Latin.
It sounds like Spanish. I do know Pig Latin.
You might impress him.
I should use my Pig Latin on our guests. Dr. John Contour is the Vice President of Optum Advisory Services, speaking about electronic health records. Dr. Ruth Oratz is a medical oncologist, speaking about creating optimal treatment plans for those people with breast cancer. And Mary McNear is a New York Times bestselling author. Her new book is called The Secrets We Carried. And real quickly, if I can squeeze in what we're talking to Joe about on Midday with Joe, he's going to the Carolinas. So I went to the dictionary of words and expressions in the Carolinas that he's going to need to know. Now, he did live there. So these are possibly words he already knows. We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. A female prosecutor from Arizona named Rachel Mitchell is being brought in by Senate Republicans to question Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and the woman accusing him of sexual assault in high school, Christine Ford, at their hearing tomorrow. Tennessee Republican Bob Corker says it's smart to have someone else ask the questions.
Inadvertently, somebody will do something that's insensitive.
Delaware Democrat Chris Coons.
I think if you're a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, you ought to be capable of questioning Dr. Ford yourself and not either hide behind or outsource that to a hired gun outside counsel.
A committee vote on Judge Kavanaugh's nomination is scheduled Friday. Delta Airlines flights are back on schedule. Planes were grounded nationwide for a couple of hours yesterday evening due to a computer system outage affecting passenger check-ins. The airline's apologizing for any inconvenience. It's not saying what caused the problem. Flights in the air or taking off overseas were not affected. Fox News. We report, you decide.
I used to post to job boards.
Only to sort through tons of resumes.
Just to find a few candidates for
my sales team.
My hair salons.
That old process was not smart.
Then I went to ZipRecruiter.
Its technology scans resumes for me to find the right people.
And actively invites them to apply.
So I get qualified candidates fast. Smart.
See why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on Trustpilot rating of hiring sites with over 1,000 reviews.
Napa know-how.
Peak Long Life Antifreeze is just $8.99 plus a $5 mail-in rebate. It keeps your engine the right temperature, no matter how hot or cold it gets, so you can be ready for whatever crazy cold, crazy hot, or crazy whatever weather fall has in store. That's Peak Antifreeze, just $8.99 plus $5 rebate. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer ends 9/30/18.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A Port St. Lucie history teacher says she was fired for refusing to give a grade of 50 to students who did not turn in their assignments, saying the school has a no-zero policy. A 21-year-old man was arrested in Daytona after throwing another man off the Main Street Bridge to the water 30 feet below. The victim swam to a pylon and is okay. The old Albertsons grocery store on East Silver Springs Boulevard will be the new headquarters for the Heart of Florida Health Center. Groundbreaking for a new 17,000 square foot terminal at Ocala's airport will be on October 29th. An Ocala native scored gold and silver medals at the World Equestrian Games. An LGBTQ supporting church in St. Petersburg has pledged to respond with love after its church sign was vandalized with graffiti that read "Gay Pastor." MegaCon Tampa is reporting that 22,000 people attended their event this past weekend, and the Fantasy Fest Code of Conduct has been published. Painted breasts are still okay. And that is your news brief from the source.
Sunshine mixing with clouds on this Wednesday. There can be a shower in spots along the coast this morning. Watch out for a thunderstorm in the afternoon across the interior. High 90 at the coast, 95 inland. Wednesday night, a shower or thunderstorm in the evening in the interior. Otherwise, fair skies overnight. It'll be overnight lows of 72 inland to 76 at the coast. Partly sunny, hot and humid for Thursday with a chance of a shower and thunderstorm. Best chance in the afternoon across the interior, high 90 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg. The 14th Annual Florida Bat Festival is October 20th from 10 till 5 at the Luby Bat Conservancy, 1309 Northwest 192nd Avenue in Gainesville. The Flying Giants are here to save the day. Come meet the Winged Crusaders, no capes needed, and celebrate some real superheroes of nature. Admission is $8 for adults, $5 for children ages 5 through 12, and children under 4 are admitted free. This fun, family-friendly festival features games, music, environmental organizations, crafts, food trucks, a beer garden, and of course, our superhero bats. Come have fun at the Luby Bat Conservancy.
The the music and magic is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with lyrics and music by Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. Now playing live on stage at the Ocala Civic Theater through September 30th. Now you can enjoy the family musical with huge dance numbers and a fresh, fun new look in this high-energy production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Call the Ocala Civic Theater today for your tickets. 352-236-2274. 352-236-2274. You're thinking about selling your home, but where do you start? Easy. Call Angie at 352-361-8359. Angie works with you to get your home sold. Angie is more than just an agent with Roberts Real Estate. She's a pro with heart. Call her at 352-361-8359, and you will know you have the right person.
I'm Angie Umpleby, and I'm looking forward to working with you when you call me at 352-361-8359. That's 352-361-8359.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen. As fall approaches, it seems our taste buds change gears, and things like char-grilled hot dogs with chili come to mind. Also, I got a crow about our most tasty grilled and crispy chicken breast sandwiches. And everybody knows about our world-famous chicken tenders and pepper cream gravy. Mmm, good. But you might just want a banana split or a blizzard for dessert. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
That was my cue right there. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. All right, we got a lot of things I want to make sure I get out there. First of all, the hurricane in the Carolinas left the Carolinas in dire need, and there are several groups that are trying to help out the folks up there that are still in need. One of those groups is the Fraternal Order of Eagles here in Marion County, down in Bellevue. And so they still have a truck that they will be driving up to the Carolinas with supplies, and those supplies come from you and I. And so they're asking if we could please continue to bring them supplies. So Joe handed me a list of the things they would like. I'll try to do this real quick because we got a lot of stuff this morning. 9:30 till 5 is when they're going to be there from Monday. That's Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 5. They are in Bellevue at the FOE, which stands for Fraternal Order of Eagles. They're on County Road 25. The address is 8350 East Highway, County Road 25, or C25. It's next to the Operation Shoebox building. They do have a phone number here. It's a lady named Melanie, who is the cook, it says here, the cook Melanie. Her number is 352-470-9470, and basically they want water, clothing, charcoal, canned goods, dog food, can openers, blankets, and toilet paper. So that's if you can help them out there.
Okay, we'll put that on Facebook later.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank
you so much. Okay. Also, we have a contest going on. You can win 2 tickets to Dollywood up in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. If you don't know where Pigeon Forge is, it is near, don't tell me, Gatlinburg.
Yep.
If you don't know where Gatlinburg is, it's about 250...
Near Pigeon Forge.
Near Pigeon Forge. It's about 215 miles or so east of Nashville, just so you get an idea. In other words, it's closer to us than Nashville is by about 4 or 4.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Right? If you were going to drive to Nashville, this is 4.5 hours closer than that.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have tickets for airplane fare or any kind of transportation. We also don't have vouchers for hotel rooms. We just have tickets for Dollywood. And we want to give people 2 tickets each. So if we pick your name from the famous blue box, which we're calling the Blue Ridge Mountain box this month, if you want to get your name in the box, we'll pick names from that box. If we pick your name from the box, then you get 2 tickets. These tickets are only good through January 5th. So there's 2 big seasons happening at Dollywood. This is the theme park, by the way, that Dolly Parton kind of refashioned after she bought it.
Yeah.
I think Joe said it used to be Silver Dollar City or something like
Yes.
that. Okay. But anyway, it looks really fun. It looks really beautiful, especially for the 2 holidays. The autumn theme, I guess, is happening right now, and then the Christmas theme will happen. That one looks really beautiful, and it actually snows there, by the way. I don't know if you'll be there in the snow, but anyway, so if you can get up there, between now and January 5th, I think they're closed on Christmas Day and the day after Christmas or Christmas Eve. There's 2 days on the calendar where they're closed. Otherwise, they're open pretty much every day Probably not open Thanksgiving, although I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, don't know that, but Christmas they're closed.
It is on that brochure. It shows you. But anyway, so if you'd like to get your name in the box, you need to call the office line. That number is 732-8000. 732-8000. If you call it now, you will get your name in the box if you leave your name and your phone number. 732-8000. What do I want to tell you? You're not winning automatically just because you got through, and there's nobody answering that phone. You have to leave your information on the answering machine. Deal?
Deal.
Got it. Good. Okay, good. Is that it?
It's exciting.
There's other things, but let me just jump into the news.
It's exciting.
Otherwise, we're going to have no news. All right, this story got everybody talking yesterday. There was a teacher down in Port St. Lucie who was fired from her job because she gave a student a 0 on an assignment. Actually, more than one student. The assignment was, what was it called? Oh, it was it
was something like to do camp to outside, like some kind of project where they had to go and gather things and do a report. What was the name of that?
An Explorer notebook. It was an Explorer notebook project. She gave the students 2 weeks to do it. After 2 weeks, the students who did it turned it in and were graded. The students who didn't turn it in got a 0. She was told she has to give them at least a 50. You can't give a 0. There was a no 0 policy in that school. So she was fired. So she says. The student handbook, according to her, and the the student and parent handbook does say that there is a no 0 policy, that no student will ever get less than a 50. Although the administrator for that county, which I don't know what county that is, but it's in Port St. Lucie. The administrator says, no, that's not one of our policies, but it says it in the book.
It's in writing.
And she was fired. She didn't quit. She was fired. So anyway, that's got people talking, and that's a crazy thing. I mean, if you don't do an assignment, you should get a 0. You should learn the consequences of not doing your work.
Exactly.
Right?
And thereby, that goes on the shoulders of the parents. If you want your children to do well in school, you're on top of those children every day. Do you have an assignment? Can I help you? Let's make time to do this. If they're dropping the ball.
That's common sense. I think the school board, though, has to be on board with their own mission, which is to teach children.
Yeah.
I mean, officially, your mission is. Can you imagine a child getting 50 every time, and so I graduated with a 50. Okay, great. Now I got my new job at McDonald's.
Exactly.
Hey, Mr. Boss Man, I'm not coming in, but I do expect half of my paycheck. What?
That's right.
No, you're not going to get half your paycheck. I'm sorry. You're going to get $0.00.
Exactly.
So that's the problem with that stupid policy they have.
Exactly. Yeah. No, this isn't good. So that teacher, you're welcome here in Marion County. Our schools are still hiring. We'd be glad to have you.
That's right. That's right. So here's another story. I think you're going to like this one. Have you heard this one? You know the old Sears Roebuck store down in East Silver? It used to be Albertsons, right?
Yeah, it used to be on 25th Avenue and East Silver Springs Boulevard in the Big Lot Shopping Center there.
Oh, that was never Albertsons?
No, what? Yes, it was Albertsons.
Yeah, it was Sears, it was Albertsons, and it was what else was it?
It was the rag shop.
The rag shop.
Yep, and then there was another shop there after the rag shop moved out because they split the building in half.
Well, apparently it's been vacant for like 2 years, and finally somebody's going to buy it. Guess who's going to buy it?
Thank goodness.
Nope, not them.
Oh, Sears? Are they relocating?
No, it's the Florida Health. What's it called again? Oh, the people who are
DaVita.
No, the Heart of Florida Health Center.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be the Heart of Florida Health Center.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, I think it's been more than 2 years, though, right?
Oh, I don't know.
It seems a long time because that was a good location for the Social Security Administration, and instead they just built that new building instead of utilizing that whole area with good parking and everything. So shame on them for not utilizing what we had.
Somebody at the airport, Dan might be the perfect one to answer this question. It says Ocala International Airport on the sign, I know, but I thought we had heard that it was no longer an international airport. But
no, it hasn't been for years.
So I don't know whether to call it Ocala International Airport or just call it Ocala Airport. I don't know, because I'm confused.
I just call it Ocala Airport, that's all. Because it's not. There's no customs there, so it's
I understand, but I don't know
what... It hasn't been for years.
Yeah, I understand.
That's a sore spot with me.
I know it is, but the thing is, if they have a name, they have a name. So what is their name? That's my question.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever their name is, they're going to have a groundbreaking on October 29th to build a new terminal there. I think you heard about this already, but I don't think the date was set yet when they would start construction. The terminal, it will be a 17,000 square foot terminal, and it's expected to be finished by December of 2019.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah, so 1 year and a couple months.
Fast.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. Well, good. That means then that bigger planes will be allowed in, like a major.
I don't know. I don't want to assume anything. But anyway, so a new terminal is going to be built there. An Ocala native scored gold and silver medals at the World Equestrian Games.
Yeah, congratulations.
The guy's name is Chester Weber. He won the individual silver medal in the equestrian sport of combined driving, and he also helped the U.S. combined driving team win their first ever team gold medal. So there you go. Congratulations to Chester Weber.
Nice.
A church in St. Petersburg that welcomes gay parishioners had some graffiti on their sign, the outdoor sign, that said "Gay Pastor." They decided to keep the graffiti on there, and then in their own, that lettering that they use on those marquee things, they put the words "Love Wins." So there you go.
There you are.
The pastor says he's not gay, but he has no problem with people being gay. It's about 25% of their congregation does identify as LGBTQ.
Nothing wrong with that.
LGBTQ.
Jesus says love everyone. I hate churches that say, well, yeah, but we got to make exceptions. Can't love these people. I hate that. Good for the St. Petersburg Church and pastor.
Speaking of sin, Fantasy Fest 2018 has issued a list of rules in their code of conduct.
Okay.
The Key West Tourist Development Association and the Key West Police Department issued a list of rules that they expect attendees to follow.
Okay.
Big bold letters says nudity is illegal and is not allowed on public property. The code, however, does say that painted breasts are fine as long as they're in the designated fantasy zone.
So, in other words, painted naked people can't walk in the parade then?
I don't know. I don't know what
because that's a public.
I don't know what the fantasy zone means. I don't know.
Oh, don't they have aren't they going to cordon places? Can you imagine that?
I was told
this is for the naked people.
I was told that it's always been illegal, that people just kind of do it anyway, and the police it's out of control or whatever.
Yeah, because they, the day of the parade, what is it, the 29th?
The more important part of this, as far as I'm concerned, is that they are not allowing backpacks, coolers, packages, water guns, weapons, or replica weapons of any kind.
Good, thank God.
That to me is more important. People being silly with their bodies, as long as they're not touching other people, they're
okay.
Just silly, I guess.
Or sword fighting.
MegaCon down in the Tampa Convention Center was this past weekend, and they reported one of their largest crowds ever. 22,000 people showed up.
Oh, good for them.
For MegaCon Tampa Bay, and the next one will be in Orlando in May.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to go to another one down here. Down here, as opposed to up in Atlanta.
Yeah, Shannon and TJ and Charity are going to the big Comic-Con up in New York.
And when is that?
October 6th. Yep, at the Javits Center. It's the hugest one ever.
The Ocala Civic Theater wants you to know that they have a show that they're putting on October 18th through November 11th called Born Yesterday. This is a live show. Let's see. The classic comedy Born Yesterday is live on stage. Crooked businessman Harry Brock made his fortune on junkyards and a lack of scruples during World War II. In the fall of 1946, he was in Washington, D.C. to bribe the government bigwigs. He brought along quite an entourage. His showgirl mistress, Billy Dawn. His perpetually inebriated attorney, Ed Devery. And his yes-man cousin, Eddie Brock, who keeps the drinks filled and the payoffs coming. So they want you to know they got this show planned for October 18th.
It was a good movie. I saw the original, and then I saw the remake with Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith, and I'd like to see that again. I'd like to see the movie again. It was pretty good.
A Yale University classmate of Brett Kavanaugh will not talk to the Senate Judiciary Committee about her charges of sexual misconduct against the Supreme Court nominee. Senator John Kennedy told reporters a lawyer for Deborah Ramirez said she has already told her story to The New Yorker. Ramirez has alleged that Kavanaugh exposed himself, touching her face with his genitals.
I wonder how much she got paid for that.
At a boozy party decades ago.
Yeah, they were drunk. They were in what, college? Oh my gosh!
You know what I find interesting about this?
What's that?
The main reason these people don't like Kavanaugh is because he's conservative, correct?
Yes.
And the main reason they don't want a conservative on the Supreme Court is because they're afraid he will or she will undo Roe versus Wade. Correct?
Correct.
But yet they're painting him as very promiscuous and very non-conservative. So they're trying to make it out that he's not conservative at all. And here's proof, because he was putting his willy in my face back in high school or whatever. Yeah. Or I would college. So.
And I guess they're saying that the non-conservative people say it's okay to use abortion as birth control.
What?
So they're painting him opposite.
What?
You and I were talking about that yesterday.
They say it again. Though?
They're painting him opposite. You said they're painting him conservative, but now they're making him seem like he's opposite.
No, he is conservative. They're afraid of having a conservative in that spot for fear that he will undo Roe versus Wade, which would mean if it was undone, then abortion, I guess, would be illegal in this country.
Yeah.
Although he's never said that. That's just what they are saying. But you would think that if they were trying to convince people that it's a bad idea to have him in there. No, unless these accusations are true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not, because how would I know? But I'm just saying if they're not true and they're making these things up and they're trying to paint a picture of him that is not accurate, then it's kind of against exactly what they want. They should want people to know that he's very conservative, dangerously conservative. That's what they should be trying to do.
Okay, now I got you.
That's what they should be trying to do, but instead they're making him out to be not conservative at all. So if he's not conservative at all, what are you worried about?
Yeah, right. What's the problem?
If he's not conservative, he'll be fine with Roe versus Wade.
Oh my gosh, there you go.
I don't know.
I like that. Thank you for explaining.
Seems like they got it backwards. Let's see. Democrats are leading the Senate and gubernatorial races in the key battleground state of Florida. Although the advantage is within the margin of error, which means it's about 50-50.
I love that.
According to the Marist survey for NBC News, incumbent Senator Bill Nelson, a Democrat from the state of Florida, whose bid could help decide which party controls the Senate, has support of 48% of likely Florida voters, while Governor Rick Scott, also running for that seat, has 45%.
Okay.
So that's that race. And then the governor's race, Democrat Andrew Gillum, the mayor of Tallahassee, is ahead of Republican Ron DeSantis by 5 points, 48% to 43%. So.
Gotta watch that one.
I predict that DeSantis will win that race and Bill Nelson will keep his seat.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's what I want necessarily, but that's what I predict. I predict Nelson will hold on to his Senate seat and DeSantis will defeat Gillum in the governor's race.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Just if I was gonna go to Vegas and bet on it, that's what I would do.
And October 9th is the deadline to register to vote or change your status or whatever you want to do.
Delta Airlines said they have restored their systems, allowing U.S. flights to resume after an hour-long technology issue forced the carrier to ground domestic services.
Wow.
There you go. So I guess that was an issue. When you don't fly, you don't pay attention to that stuff. So I didn't even know that was going on.
No, but if you fly and you need to get a connecting flight, you're done. You won't make it.
Bill Cosby was sentenced to at least 3 years in prison. The sentence said 3 to 10 years yesterday. The judge said, quote, Montgomery County Judge Stephen O'Neill said, quote, "It is time for justice, Mr. Cosby. This has all circled back to you. The time has come." He quoted from victim Andrea Constand's own statement to the court in which she said Cosby took her beautiful young spirit and crushed it.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. I'm glad he's put away forever. He'll die in prison.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hello, Hugh.
Say, I'd be willing to bet that Cosby will be out in less than a year.
Okay, let's go to Vegas and see if you're right.
Earlier, you guys were talking about grades, 0 and 50 and all that, and that brought back a lot of memories when I was in high school. We had a couple of teachers that would grade you. I want to ask you the question: What is better, a B plus or an A minus?
An A minus.
Why?
Because an A minus is a 94.
Yeah.
A B plus is anything above 88.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. There's not such a thing as like an E plus, because an E is an E, and you get an E, you fail. But there would be like maybe like a D minus.
Okay, you had E's in your school instead of F's.
Yeah, we had E was failure, right?
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think D minus. D minus was better than an F. Yeah, or an E in your case.
Yeah, but then again, how about an A plus? I mean, how good can an A be?
Yeah, there should be no A plus. That's technically the rule, but yeah, sometimes they give up.
Yeah,
like a bonus.
But we had teachers back. Yeah, we had teachers back in high school that would give A pluses, B minus, B plus, and everything like that. And I never could really understand it. I mean, I always thought an A was an A B is a B, so on and so forth.
Yeah, well, B plus is supposed to be the upper end of B, which was 94. In other words, you almost made an A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, that 0 and 50 that doesn't make any sense either. I mean, if 50 is considered a failure, what's the difference if it's a 50 or a 0?
Oh,
it's a big difference.
Oh, big difference. Yeah,
big difference.
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference.
Because if you're averaging your grade, let's say you only take 2 tests in the year, right?
Yeah.
And in one test you get a 0, and the other test you get 100. Well, the average is 50, so you fail.
Right.
But if you get a 50 on one and 100 on the other, then the average is 75, and you pass.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that pretty standard, like now here in Ocala and everywhere, or
no?
Because I never heard of that before.
No. We don't have a no-zero policy, as far as I know.
No, it's if you don't do your work, you get a 0.
Okay, well, I just had to get that cleared. See, a real quickie, that Elberson Health, is that going to be a private outfit in there?
Florida Health.
Florida Health? I think it's private, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank God something's going on in that shopping center. That Elvis. I felt so bad when Elberson left, because I always enjoyed shopping there along with Publix and sometimes Walmart. But that whole shopping center there on this side of town is just it's a wasteland, and there's a couple other ones too. So it seems like this side of town, the east side of Ocala and Silver Springs, is not really doing too much. But everything seems to be on the 200 corridor, going east or going west. That's the big push here in this area.
Yes. Your side of town is being neglected. We need to do something about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we got that wonderful that water park that I've been trying to get a hold of some people up in Tallahassee to find out what's going on. No response. Well, we'll get back to you. We'll call you. We'll send you. Never heard anything. So I don't. It just sits there decaying, and it's an eyesore, and it's part of the mess on this side of town.
Yep.
Dangerous.
Yeah, we've even asked directly, and we're told directly what they were doing, and it never happens. So I don't know.
Never happens. Yeah. Okay, well, life is life down here in Ocala and Silver Springs.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Let's see. Girls get better grades than boys, including in science, technology, engineering, and math, according to new research. And the female advantage occurs at all age levels, according to the analysis. Okay. So how do you use that kind of information? How do you use information where it says one sex does better than another sex?
I don't agree with that.
And what would be the response if somebody did that same study with race?
Exactly.
What would be the result of that study?
Exactly.
You know, if they did a study, because you're going to find you cannot make blanket statements. You cannot make blanket statements. That's my only blanket statement, is that you cannot make blanket statements because you're always going to be wrong. There's always going to be a girl better than a boy. Always going to be a boy better than a girl.
That's right.
What we need to do is to stop excluding people because of age, race, sex, religion. We need to stop excluding them.
Exactly.
And I think most of you probably already stopped excluding people because of those things. But for some reason, the press likes to publish things like this. And
the government does.
Get us talking about it. All right, we're at the bottom, so we got to finish and wrap it up. Actually, we're at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. We'll be right back with Galen Uno. This is The Source, WOCA, Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. Senate Republicans have hired a female prosecutor to help question Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and the woman who says he sexually assaulted her in high school, Christine Ford. Fox's Griff Jenkins reports about the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing tomorrow.
The format will include opening statements, followed by 5-minute rounds of questioning for each senator. The Republicans are bringing in Rachel Mitchell, a veteran Arizona prosecutor with decades of sex crimes prosecution experience, to handling questions on behalf of the Republicans. The plan is to vote on Kavanaugh on Friday,
with a full Senate vote early next week. President Trump chairs a United Nations Security Council meeting today about preventing the spread of nuclear weapons. He said about Iran at the UN General Assembly yesterday,
"We cannot allow the world's leading sponsor of terrorism to possess the planet's most dangerous weapons."
He meets one-on-one today with the leaders of Israel, Japan, and Great Britain. Fox News. We report, you decide.
I used to post to job boards,
only to sort through tons of resumes,
just to find a few candidates for
my sales team,
my hair salons.
That old process was not smart.
Then I went to ZipRecruiter.
Its technology scans resumes for me to find the right people
and actively invites them to apply,
so I get qualified candidates fast. Smart.
See why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on Trustpilot rating of hiring sites with over 1,000 reviews.
Napa know-how.
Peak Long Life Antifreeze is just $8.99 plus a $5 mail-in rebate. It keeps your engine the right temperature, no matter how hot or cold it gets, so you can be ready for whatever crazy cold, crazy hot, or crazy whatever weather fall has in store. That's Peak Antifreeze, just $8.99 plus $5 rebate. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer ends 9/30/18.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A Port St. Lucie history teacher says she was fired for refusing to give a grade of 50 to students who did not turn in their assignments, saying the school has a no-zero policy. A 21-year-old man was arrested in Daytona after throwing another man off the Main Street Bridge to the water 30 feet below. The victim swam to a pylon and is okay. The old Albertsons grocery store on East Silver Springs Boulevard will be the new headquarters for the Heart of Florida Health Center. Groundbreaking for a new 17,000 square foot terminal at Ocala's airport will be on October 29th. An Ocala native scored gold and silver medals at the World Equestrian Games. An LGBTQ supporting church in St. Petersburg has pledged to respond with love after its church sign was vandalized with graffiti that read "Gay Pastor." MegaCon Tampa is reporting that 22,000 people attended their event this past weekend, and the Fantasy Fest Code of Conduct has been published. Painted breasts are still okay. And that is your news brief from from the source.
Sunshine mixing with clouds on this Wednesday. There can be a shower in spots along the coast this morning. Watch out for a thunderstorm in the afternoon across the interior. High 90 at the coast, 95 inland. Wednesday night, a shower or thunderstorm in the evening in the interior. Otherwise, fair skies overnight. It'll be overnight lows of 72 inland to 76 at the coast. Partly sunny, hot, and humid for Thursday with a chance of a shower and thunderstorm. Best chance in the afternoon across the interior, high 90 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Live on stage at the Ocala Civic Theater, Born Yesterday.
Crooked businessman Harry Brock made his fortune on junkyards and a lack of scruples during World War II. In the fall of '46, he's in Washington, D.C. to bribe government bigwigs into shady deals. Harry has brought along quite an entourage. His showgirl mistress, his perpetual inebriated attorney, and his yes-man cousin who keeps the drinks filled and the payoffs coming. Go see Born Yesterday at the Ocala Civic Theater from October 18th to November 11th. Call them for tickets. 352-236-2274.
All right, thank you, Joe. 5 minutes actually after 8 o'clock. Galen Unold is on the phone from Life South Community Blood Center. Hey, Galen, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are you?
Pretty good. Where are you today?
I'm up in Atlanta.
I had a feeling you were up there. How's the weather in Atlanta? Is it starting? Is the foliage starting to happen yet, Galen?
No, it's still hot.
Because I know how much you look forward to that every year.
Absolutely. Those leaves changing is so important in my life.
We had a report this morning that said that the thing down in Tampa, what was it called, MegaCon, had 22,000 people. Does that sound like a lot to you?
So, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I mean, they're calling it like the biggest event in the Southeast, but yet it seems like that one up in Atlanta, which is also the Southeast, that you go to is bigger. Am I right?
It's a lot bigger. It's over 100,000 people go to Dragon Con.
So what is the word? Hyperbole?
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows how they, they're just trying to be bigger and better and everything else. It's, I don't know. Dragon Con's 5 days. This one I think was 2.
3.
3. Yeah. Okay, you can't compare it. You just can't.
22,000. So I don't know. And then they said the next one is going to be. And I'm not picking on them. I mean, if these people are having fun, who cares? I mean, what difference does it make? As long as they're having fun.
Yeah, it's an event. They buy tickets and it's fun.
And I actually, I don't know. Might like to go to one. I don't know. Are they fun for you? I know you work them, but are they fun?
No.
No.
No, it's just not. It's not what I'm into. No.
So I don't know. It might be fun to walk around. It just looks like an active, silly thing or something. People just in costume, as opposed to Fantasy Fest, where they issued the code of conduct yesterday for Fantasy Fest. Did you know?
I didn't know they had one of those. No.
You know what? I didn't know they did either. But in big capital letters, it says nudity is prohibited. Right?
Oh, that's too bad.
And then in the second line, it says, however, body paint is okay.
Mm-hmm. So you have one flower on you, you're fine. You don't have to. It doesn't say your total body has to be painted.
Man, when are you going to go to there? You love the idea of Fantasy Fest. You love talking about it.
Larry's been there. He went there with his friends.
I don't know.
Yeah. When are you going back?
I'm thinking about going Tuesday. You want to come?
No, I'll be on the road Tuesday.
Oh, it's not happening on Tuesday. I'm sorry. It doesn't happen till the end of October.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if I loved it that much, I guess I would have gone back. I just think it's a silly thing. It was just a silly thing to be. And the older I get, the creepier it gets, Galen. For everybody else.
Yes, I understand.
For everybody else. Not for me, but for everybody else.
But you said the males always had a code of conduct, though. That they couldn't.
The males did.
They had to be covered up down there.
Yeah, but the police didn't seem to care. That was weird.
Oh, I thought you had fake things over there.
I don't remember anybody getting arrested.
Yeah.
Get over here in the car. Get in the back of the car. Have you ever been arrested, Galen?
No.
It's a personal question, isn't it?
Yeah.
You would have squirmed if you had.
Nope, thankfully not.
Have I ever asked you a question that made you squirm?
Yes.
Oh, I have.
Sure.
Let me think what it might have been.
You won't.
So, speaking of things, code of conduct, I was curious about the etiquette at the high school football games, not just for the crowd, but also for the players and the cheerleaders? Is there a code of conduct? I know there's some new rules this year in Marion County from the school system.
Yeah.
But I mean, in general, is the code of conduct, the etiquette rules, is it pretty much the same as it always has been?
Yeah. I mean, act like a decent human being, I think is the general rule. You can't really do anything at a football game that you could do at any other public setting. So
talk. I
don't know. I don't think there is one. I'm sure there is one. I just don't know what it is.
It seems like, and talk about this a little bit, because I don't know that I grasp this. The players have some etiquette rules they're not supposed to break, like celebrating a touchdown. That to me is crazy. You should celebrate a touchdown. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, I agree. I mean, they work really hard, and that's their whole goal is to, score. And then, you put, let's say the average high school athlete puts in minimum of 30 to 40 hours a week into playing that game, above and beyond the classroom, right? And
right.
You're going to then tell them, oh, okay, just hand the football to the referee and, just don't celebrate too much. I just think it's crazy.
But I
think it's crazy.
Do they get penalized? What do they call spike the ball? Or do they get penalized for doing that kind of thing?
You're allowed to. What you're allowed to do, you're no longer allowed to spike the ball. You have to celebrate with teammates. You can't taunt. You can't do any choreographed events. You can celebrate too much. It's how you enter the end zone now is an issue. I don't know. There's.
Oh wow.
I think a little bit. I think to me it's a lot of craziness. So it doesn't make sense.
So at the high school level,
the NFL at least has gone. The NFL has gone away from that because they realized it was just stupid.
It's too many of them.
Yeah, they brought it on themselves. The NFL did.
At the high school level, though, do the coaches? How do I ask this question? Do the coaches take away points or penalize anybody if they do any of those things?
Depends on the situation. I mean, I think, there's a time when you'll take that, and the penalty usually on the field is a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and it's assessed on the kickoff. So there are times where that's no big deal whatsoever. The coach will say, yeah, that's fine. You guys earned that one. And then there are other times in the game, if it's close or, you need to get the ball back, that it could be a really hurt the whole team. So it depends on if it's celebration of hard work and all this, or if it's just a silly, selfish penalty. And there's a line there, and the coach knows what it is. And usually the penalty is the next day you're just going to run more at the next practice.
Oh, it's after the game, but it doesn't affect the score?
No.
Are there any uniform etiquette rules? Do they have to keep their shirt tucked in and all that?
Yeah, they try really hard to make sure their shirts are tucked in and stuff like that. But again, by the fourth quarter, nobody really cares. You've put in all the hard work. So it just depends on the situation.
Wow.
And it depends on the referee.
How about any of the sideline people, the band? Do they have etiquette rules? The cheerleaders?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I don't care.
They're not supposed to play during certain points of the game. Like if the team has a football, they're not supposed to play. But I think that's about it.
Do you know what I was watching this thing, and the Gators were facing the Volunteers. Is that right? Was that last week?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And their song, the Volunteer song, is Rocky Top.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right? And the Gainesville players, the Gators, were playing the game in their practice while that song was going on, just to prepare, because that was a taunt in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Which I found that interesting, that the song Rocky Top was actually a taunt.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been playing that for years. I don't know, my whole life.
But I mean, do you need...
When you go into... Go ahead.
All right, let's say you're a coach. Do you need to desensitize? Was that the word I'm looking for? The team, like do they play the Gator Growl or whatever they call it? Do they do that so that when they get here they don't? Oh my gosh, I'm so intimidated by that song.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You prepare your players for the game and crowd noise, especially Neyland Stadium in Tennessee that sits over 100,000 people. And they're all screaming Rocky Top. I don't care who you are. These are 18-year-old kids, but you go in there and you probably couldn't talk in front of that many people screaming Rocky Top. much less orchestrate and choreograph a play with 11 different individuals that all doing the exact same thing at the right time, when they're supposed to do it, how they're supposed to do it, against somebody who's trying to stop you from doing all that. You have to get acclimated to that. That's incredibly tough.
I played guitar in colleges up and down the East Coast, and I had a request one time for Rocky Top, and I did not know it. Not only did I not know it, I didn't know of it. And so I said to the girl who requested the song, I said, I can do Rocky Raccoon. Is that okay?
She hated that.
No, that's not okay. You don't know Rocky Top? I said, no, I don't know it. And she probably thought I was lying, and I was probably a Gator fan or something, or some other team fan.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to play their team song. I had no idea that was a team song. Wow.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah. There's tons of songs that are out there that are team song, but Rocky Top, and I've been to Neyland Stadium when they played the Gators, and it's deafening. It is deafening. I'm still on the sidelines, and you could not hear yourself.
Do you hate it, or do you love it? I mean, do you get caught up in the excitement of it, or do you actually like resent it? Like, oh, I hate you guys. You're playing that song.
It's a part of college football. It's just like going to Florida State.
Yeah.
You know, and when they're doing the chomp. When they're really good and the place is packed, or going to the Gators and they're singing, and they're doing the chomp, and you can hear it and it just echoes through.
That is cool. Yeah, I have been to both.
Part of it.
Yeah,
and I've been to a lot of NFL stadiums, and it's just not the same. It's just.
Oh really? So they don't do it in the professional games, huh?
They don't have they have songs, but they're all during the commercials and I think that's part of the issue is there's such, during the 2.5-minute breaks, people just sit down and go, okay, yeah, we know we're in timeout. It's a different crowd. You got to remember in college, there's a lot of young people, and young people have the energy to just sit there and scream. Old people don't. People who go to NFL games are upper middle class. They work 5 or 6 days a week, so they can pay for those tickets. And it's a different crowd.
Yeah, I have a friend in Naples. He's from New York. He lives in Naples now. Is a huge Miami Dolphin fan, which is probably why he moved to South Florida, even though it's the west coast of the state. But he has season tickets for the Dolphins. He just posted a photo of himself and his lady.
Nice.
And he just loves it. But yeah, he's one of those guys that did well financially, and that's what he spends his money on. Yeah.
And why shouldn't he?
Yeah. They're expensive. Tickets are expensive, but I mean, it's their form of entertainment.
So which
they do that instead of going to the movies.
Is there one song that is the most intimidating song ever? And you would think the Gator one would be intimidating. It's got that whole chomp thing going on.
It's not really a song though. It's a chant.
That's true. Yeah.
Song wise, I don't know.
I mean,
Tennessee is big. Just for sheer crowd, when you go to Louisiana, it's a big, big deal just because, especially at night, because those fans are just brutal. I don't know for songs. South Carolina, when they were good for a very brief time, they would play what the heck is it called? Black Hole.
Yes.
And that was crazy.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
And then they would play Sandman and things like that.
Was that the Shuttlecocks? What was their name again?
Gamecocks.
Yeah.
Shuttlecocks is a badminton thing. When they're playing Metallica, and whether it's Black Hole or Sandstorm, it's pretty crazy in there. But that's as far as songs. That's the only ones that I can really think of off the top of my head.
Okay,
the Notre Dame. There's a couple of fight songs that when you hear, you instantly recognize as, wow, that's incredible. Like Notre Dame's fight song, Michigan's fight song, USC's fight song. When you hear them, they're like, wow, that's crazy. And when those teams are good, it has more of an impact.
Yeah, because the crowd just rallies around everything, and that's what's really great about it.
I actually have been in the stadium in Tennessee, in Tallahassee, when the Seminoles were playing, and that whole tomahawk chop thing they do, whatever it's called, right? Is that,
their war chant.
Oh my gosh, that is really powerful. that is all those people doing that. Yes.
Yeah, and so just imagine if you're on the field and you're an 18-year-old kid, and again, it helps if the football team's good, right? If it's in a good big game, that matters. And there's like Ohio State when those people really get involved and get in the chant, the guy docks the I with the band, that people go nuts.
Oh right, yeah.
I mean, there are traditions like that are in college football that make it so special.
Let me ask you something. How effective is the chant or the war song, whatever is the powerful part of that team? How effective is it when they're the visiting team and they only have a small group of kids that are actually there to chant?
That doesn't matter because
they're really
overwhelmed. Yeah, it doesn't. Again, the difference between if there's 100,000 people and only 20,000 of them are chanting, it doesn't have the same impact. This doesn't.
But their team can still hear that, and they can still hear the applause and the yelling for their side, even though they're the visitors and they don't have as many people.
Who choreographs those placard things that people have on their seats that when they hold them up, it spells out a word or paints a picture of a face?
Oh, good idea.
Who does that?
Good question.
I have no idea.
That's amazing when they do that kind of stuff, isn't it?
It is very much so.
Now they do it via phone apps, and they just tell you to hold your phone up.
Right, really?
And that's
I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
Yes, you could.
Can you?
You can't see it when you're in the stadium, but you could see it from above.
So what is that? A bunch of pixels?
Yeah, they just tell you to hold your phone up, and it knows what seat you're in.
Wow.
Does flashes along your screen.
Oh, that's
the newest thing. They're doing it at soccer games in Europe all over the place. So that's the new thing.
See, and like at concerts, people are holding up their phones when they used to hold up matches.
Yeah, and lighters.
And then lighters later on. Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of loses something when you're holding up a phone. I think at a concert.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I'd rather have a real flame.
Oh, but that's you can't light a fire inside a building.
I guess not. No. So
what? Or inside a stadium. So people would go absolutely crazy.
So how does the phone thing work in the daylight? Doesn't it have to be a nighttime thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We had a guy on the phone yesterday who flies the helicopter over the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, he's a cinematographer, and he does all of those amazing shots from a helicopter.
Yeah. And I was asking him, oh, gosh, I have something I want to ask you also. I was asking him about the drone. Has it, taken work away from guys like him? And he didn't think it did, but Rob and I were watching, I guess it was Channel 20, and they were showing a gator scene, a shot or something, and you could see the drone flying right over the field. That's an amazing thing that they can do now, huh?
You could see the whole drone. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now you have a drone. Is there any way you could hook it up for the Friday night game you do?
Oh yeah, and fly that.
No.
Just get one of your boys.
They would go crazy.
One of your sons to operate it.
They would literally shoot it. They would probably throw a football out of the sky.
Wow, because that would be great.
That drone they had.
I'm sure it's been done. Mm-hmm.
That drone at the Gator game looked immense. It was not a small drone.
No,
they're huge. They have ones that are like 2 feet wide, big because of the battery life and stuff like that. They're using them in events all over the place now.
Yeah, so and it looks like the camera is hanging underneath it.
Yeah, so I got a long elongated thing there. It was pretty cool. Very neat.
Do you think sports in general has become very entertainment conscientious? You know, they're trying to do things that make it more of an entertainment event. While it doesn't take away from being a sport, though, I'm not trying to say that. but it seems like they're incorporating things like rock concerts. They incorporate not ballet. What am I trying to say? Acrobatics. They have guys.
Yeah.
They have guys and girls coming down off of ribbons from the ceiling, right?
Yep.
Sure. Well, I think sports moved into more of the entertainment realm in the 70s when they were trying to get more people to come to the games. I mean, it's been that way for a very, very long time, where they incorporate music and have halftime shows and and they have these huge screens that try to entertain the fans during the commercial breaks. And yeah, absolutely.
I wonder why. I wonder why halftime.
They know it's entertainment.
Do you think this would work if at halftime, like at the Super Bowl, instead of a band, they had like a play, like somebody did Shakespeare?
That would be fun.
That wouldn't work.
Well, yeah. I think people would pay just as much attention to that as they do to the band.
That's funny.
I'm serious.
It's funny.
Yeah, the people, that most people who go to a game, they're like, well, do I sit here and watch, or do I battle the lines because I really need to go to the bathroom and I don't want to miss anything? I really need a beer, but I just don't want to battle the lines. Yeah.
Let me have a phone call for you. We need to talk about blood, too, by the way. Go on, you're on the air with Galen.
Yes, say, Galen, the officials, the referees for high school football, who are they, and do they get paid for doing that?
Yes, they get paid for doing that. And they're just people in the, regular citizens in the community.
Do they have to have any kind of a background to do that? I mean, as far like played football at one time or something?
They don't have to play. They just have to, pass the test, and they go up the ranks kind of like anybody else.
And you don't like them mostly, it sounds like.
I think the ones that are good are very good, and the ones that are bad are just horrible, and they ruin the game. That's what I hate. The officials that are good is I don't have any idea who they are. But I can walk on the field and I say, oh, we're in for a long night. I'm sorry, that's just not good.
I'll tell you what, though, listening to you is very entertaining when you express your dislike of them. That's fun. That's fun stuff because the kids, the players, they're kind of out of bounds. You can't mess with them. Those are just kids, But you can mess with those adults. You can say something about them.
Well, I don't. I think they. I've said this many times. An official can make the game, or they can destroy the game, and they have that kind of authority and pull. And when they destroy a game, I'm going to let you know that they're destroying the game.
Do the same officials play every Vanguard game and like every Leesburg game?
No, they rotate them.
Oh, they do.
Rotate them.
Oh, okay.
One more phone call, then we'll talk.
Yeah, then you would really get some fights.
Let me get another phone call. We'll talk blood. Good morning. You're on the air with Galen.
Yeah, hey, my son-in-law is an official. He's been doing it for about 5 years. They get $50 a game, and like Galen said, they rotate between games, and they try to make sure that an official is not officiating a game that might have a relative in it. And he's really, really good. He travels to Jacksonville and Miami for the championship games, and there's a whole bunch of them.
Wow, nice.
That's cool. Didn't know that, Dennis.
I'm not saying they're not. They're human beings. They try their best. Just some of them, just like in every other profession, some are better than others.
Well, if he gets $50 a game, then he's getting $75 more than you're getting.
Yeah, that's right.
That's correct. That's correct.
Because I imagine you're spending some of your own money to get there and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, they play. I mean, they do it they love it. They love the game. They're passionate about it. But just some of them aren't very good. That's all.
All right. Let's see. How's the blood supply and where's the blood mobile?
We're right out of 5-day blood supply, and the blood mobile today is right back in the Villages at the Wedgwood Lane Walmart.
All right.
Nice.
Well, what's on the agenda in Atlanta? What do you have to do today?
Just a couple of meetings today, and meeting with the VA and doing some stuff like that. Heading home tonight.
Hey, a lot of people don't know that a lot of times people ask, where does the blood go? You actually bring a lot of blood here in Marion County to the VA, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Shands, and pretty much between those two, that's where just about everything we collect in Marion County goes is Shands and the VA.
Yeah.
Gosh.
A lot of people always ask that question, where does the blood go? So,
Sure.
Thank you,
Good question to ask.
Palm Garden of Ocala. Thank you, Penn Flooring. Those two sponsors make it possible for Galen to be able to be on the air with us each day and give us a reminder that we need to be there to donate blood. Otherwise, there is no blood for those vets who almost gave everything. They were willing to give everything. How about that? Those who did give everything are resting in peace, hopefully. But those others, we have to take care of them. So donate blood and help out your vets. We're almost up on, November 11th. It's not too far away. So almost up on Veterans Day.
Yep, absolutely.
Again, be careful up there. Thank you for what you do, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thank you guys for everything.
You're welcome. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to autumn. The weather is cooling off and the leaves will turn colors. At Palm Garden of Ocala, autumn is celebrated with special activities and cold weather menus, even pumpkin spice. But they do not celebrate fall. At Palm Garden, fall can represent pain and injury. If you have fallen and need short-term rehab, Palm Garden is your best choice. During autumn, the only thing that should fall are leaves. Palm Garden is located on the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. Senate Republicans have hired a female prosecutor to help question Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and the woman who says he sexually assaulted her in high school, Christine Ford. Fox's Griff Jenkins reports about the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing tomorrow.
The format will include opening statements, followed by 5-minute rounds of questioning for each senator. The Republicans are bringing in Rachel Mitchell, a veteran Arizona prosecutor with decades of sex crimes prosecution experience, to handling questions on behalf of the Republicans. The plan is to vote on Kavanaugh on Friday,
with a full Senate vote early next week. President Trump chairs a United Nations Security Council meeting today about preventing the spread of nuclear weapons. He said about Iran at the UN General Assembly yesterday,
"We cannot allow the world's leading sponsor of terrorism to possess the planet's most dangerous weapons."
He meets one-on-one today with the leaders of Israel, Japan, and Great Britain. Fox News. We report, you decide.
I used to post to job boards,
only to sort through tons of resumes.
just to find a few candidates for
My sales team.
my hair salons.
That old process was not smart.
Then I went to ZipRecruiter
Its technology scans resumes for me to find the right people,
and actively invites them to apply.
so I get qualified candidates fast. Smart.
See why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on Trustpilot rating of hiring sites with over 1,000 reviews.
Napa know-how.
Peak Long Life Antifreeze is just $8.99 plus a $5 mail-in rebate. It keeps your engine the right temperature, no matter how hot or cold it gets, so you can be ready for whatever crazy cold, crazy hot, or crazy whatever weather fall has in store. That's Peak Antifreeze, just $8.99 plus $5 rebate. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer ends 9/30/18.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A Port St. Lucie history teacher says she was fired for refusing to give a grade of 50 to students who did not turn in their assignments, saying the school has a no-zero policy. A 21-year-old man was arrested in Daytona after throwing another man off the Main Street Bridge to the water 30 feet below. The victim swam into a pylon and is okay. The old Albertsons grocery store on East Silver Springs Boulevard will be the new headquarters for the Heart of Florida Health Center.